it doesn't have to be this hard to get services. It doesn't have to be this hard to, fill out a form or something. I love this committee and this event.
Talking about things like awareness, talking about things like acceptance and advocacy, and all of those things is that this event encompasses all of that and then some.
Welcome back to Finding Common Ground with Heather and Steve. Today we're going to talk about an exciting event coming up called the Pathways to Success.
Yes, we have 3 guests here who are going to be part of this Pathways for Success initiative that we're doing in Utica, New York. We're going to have Kim Karcic here. We're going to have Kathy Caruso and Bethany Wendt. And this is the first time I've met you, Kimberly. Nice to meet you. And I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kimberly Karcic. I am a mom of an acute little adorable boy toddler that is diagnosed with autism. Previous to that, I had a brother that had severe cerebral palsy. He passed away 2 years ago at the age of 42. So I'm very passionate about this community and advocating for this community. So when I was approached by the sheriff to be on this committee, I was all hands in. This is definitely what this county needs. As navigating as a parent myself, just that early intervention, how to get that diagnosis, what do I do next? And my head was just spinning. And I'm like, oh, and these 2 great ladies that are with me here on the call today, Kathy and Bethany, have been a lifesaver for me too. There's been times in meetings that I'm like, I have no clue what I'm doing, and they have guided me in the right direction. So I want to give that back to our community and what I can do to help them. Even if it's just making a small connection with a mom or a dad that is going through the same things I'm going through. They're not alone. I think that's the big message that as a parent, I want them to know you're not alone in this. There's plenty of times I feel alone in this, but I don't want people to feel that. We're here, we're out there. And it's just, I think us as parents with special needs kids, it's hard to make those connections sometimes. So as this event, it's so amazing that it's free, for families to come, and they can get so many resources, that they need. So we're very excited about this event. And I also probably should mention, I've been in the special education world for 20 years. I mean, I don't that old, but yes. So currently I'm a behavior specialist, and I'm in my 2nd year of getting my social worker degree. So I've been doing my clinical hours. So I'm so excited. That's just another platform that I can help families out. So I'm very, very excited for this event and this committee, because you know what? This is not going to be our one and done. We're going to have many more to come.
Kimberly, thanks for that update on you, and I'm really glad that you're involved. And as a parent, I think that's I think it's a lot of times it comes back to us as parents. And I've been in your shoes. Kathy's been in your shoes. Heather's been in your shoes, and Beth sees it every day. And so, anyways, I'll bring it on to Beth next. If you can talk a little bit about yourself too.
Sure, absolutely. Thank you again for having us on your podcast today. We really value the opportunity to share this, and it's very clear already just how important this event will be. So as you know, and for those of you that don't know me, my name is Bethany Wendt. I'm the Director of Community Relations at Kelberman. And at Kelberman, we provide supports and services to people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. And one of the aspects of our mission at Kelberman is connection, right? Talking about things like awareness, talking about things like acceptance and advocacy, and all of those things is that this event encompasses all of that and then some, just as much as what Kimberly was saying about what she gets out of being a part of this committee. And we are so honored to be a part of it. When Sheriff Mashel had reached out asking us, it was an honor, really, to be a part of it. And I've learned so much personally and of course professionally being a part of this. And as Kim has said, we have so many ideas that we are throwing around in the table. It's to be a fly on the wall in some of our conversations is really, I can't imagine what that poor fly is thinking, because there's so much to be done. Steve, you and I have talked about it so much, about all that the progress that is being made, and there's still so much more that we can do. We have partnered in so many different ways with Utica Center for Development, Better Together, the Oneida County Sheriff's Department, and I know Kathy, says it often. We are better together. So when we can bring resources together in one space for families to get connected, it's essential. And we talk about time being precious for families and really wanting to make the most of it. And I personally think that this event does that. It's a one-stop shop where you can come if you have questions about something like early intervention, or, what do I do when I get a diagnosis, or where do I go to get a diagnosis? You can ask those questions. Or my child is now graduating from high school. What does life look like after high school? So it's throughout the entire lifespan that we really try to bring in subject matter experts to talk about, what it is that families need to know at each stage and phase of life. And it's different for everyone. It's not a one size fits all approach. It's different for each family. And we really try to get a comprehensive, diverse group of experts to come in and share their resources and their knowledge. So it's little tidbits, that they get to share. And then we also give families the opportunity to ask questions afterwards and, speak with them afterwards as well. So we have 15-minute windows where we have subject matter experts come in, talk about various topics. Like I said, preschool aged speaker we have coming in, early intervention. We have representation from OPWDD coming in to speak about their services, transition planning, future planning with the ARC and Francesca Bevavino coming in and talking about, what that looks like. And sometimes it's those hard topics too, right? That we may not want to think about or talk about, but is a reality at the same time. So I do feel like this event really is going to be fantastic for families, and it is just the beginning. I feel like we have so much more that we can bring as a committee, and I'm really excited for that as well. And again, Kelberman is just so honored to be a part of the committee and be in the presence of amazing professionals and people like in this call right now.
Beth, thank you very much. I'm so glad Kelberman's involved and yourself are involved. So many kids that we see in this community go through your center, and whether it's a psych evaluation, whether it's an autism evaluation, it's so appreciated. And now we'll kick it to Kathy. And Kathy, I already know you.
Yes, Steve, we have been working together for a few years now. And I can just more or less echo what the two ladies have already said. It's amazing that Sheriff Mashel has taken this population and helped us so much with first responder trainings, with community outreach events, and taking it a step further and gathering a table of all of us to come and meet on a monthly basis to see how we can better serve and further serve the community and let them know, like Kimberly said, when you look as a parent, I'm a parent of he'll be 31 at the end of the month. It's been a long road, and it's been very hard at times. And, you look at your child and you grieve for what's not, for what could have been. And as Kimberly said, you look around and you feel isolated and alone. And these kind of events will equip parents and loved ones and caregivers that you're not alone, that there are professionals, that there are agencies that want to come and that want to help you navigate the road ahead. And even in those uncomfortable places. I mean, I don't know a part of this journey that's easy. From the earliest intervention, I mean, back in the day when my son was going to be diagnosed, he was dismissed by his pediatrician as spoiled and combative, that his language disappeared and the flapping started because I was a stay-at-home mom and I was at his beck and call. And nothing could have been further from the truth. My son was slipping away from us. He stopped talking. His motor development was slipping away. I mean, he met all the milestones. He sat up on time. He walked on time. He did everything on time. And then after, a lot of cycles of antibiotics and his inoculations, we started to see he went from pointing, and I don't mean to make this about my son, but I'm just talking about the journey and the painfulness of it, and not having this table set to say, okay, this is what you do and this is what's available. And we didn't have services for my son until he was 16, because what I had heard about getting services scared me. That is someone going to come in my house? Are they going to take my son if they don't think I'm feeding him right, or if his fingernails are dirty, and all those types of things, and those things that go through your mind because you don't know what to expect. I mean, when you're pregnant and you're getting ready to have a child, you're thinking about, teddy bear picnics and sand piles and catching frogs and those kind of things. You're not thinking about physical therapy, occupational therapy, OPWDD, ARC. You don't even know what those things are. So this is a real gentle but yet powerful table that the sheriff is putting together, as they all said, from early intervention all the way to stages that I am now at pushing 60, of funeral planning. And as much as I don't want to do those things, I need to carry the heavy end of this cross for my son so that he's never in a place that, they didn't take care of things. So now he's, lost somewhere in a system, so that every duck is in a row. Guardianship is very hard for some parents to have to go before a judge and basically declare that your child is incompetent to make good medical or financial decisions for themselves. But it's a step that you need to take. And especially in New York State, when you turn 18, you're an adult, regardless of that sheet of diagnoses and comorbidities that has followed you all the way through. Parents need to establish that guardianship. I can't tell you how many providers as an adult have said to me, well, I can't talk to you. I need to talk to Nicholas. And Nicholas has unreliable, non-communicative speech. Do you have guardianship papers? Yes, I do. And they're very important. It's very important to establish those things. And, in the event that I leave the earth, somebody else is in line to, make those decisions and get in front of him. So this event is so important and so life-changing, because I think in any battle or any challenge in life, the better equipped you are, the less scary it becomes. I mean, we can't roadmap for every single person because every journey is completely different, but we can put the blocks in place and we can say, hey, if you're looking for, Christ-centered support, Better Together is here. If you need early intervention, this is here. Autism services, who's better than Kelberman? I mean, it's just all the pieces that we need. So, I can't say enough. It's an honor and a privilege. And my prayer is, and my hope is that parents see how important and all that's gone on and the hours that have been given to this.
Mm-hmm. I think listening to everybody, the overwhelm that you feel as a parent is so incredibly important to acknowledge. I was a professional in the field. I evaluated babies. Okay, so I was birth to 5 and most of my caseload were really little. And I will never forget the moment that Devin was placed in my arms. Everybody's all happy and I'm looking at her and I could see every red flag. I'm doing all my screening and my tests, and I'm marking off the red flags in my head, and I can't breathe. Like my chest is tightening, my heart is pounding, and everyone's congratulating me and saying what a beautiful baby I have. And I'm thinking, she's so floppy, and why isn't she tight? And what's wrong with her muscles? And I just should have, I don't even know the right words, but like, you feel like when you're the professional, you should know what to do and you should know what steps to take. But it was my baby. And I froze. She didn't get services to 8 months old. And I was working early intervention. But I also had a pediatrician who said, she's just a really good baby. I'm like, she's not sitting. She can't support herself. Her neck looks like it's to the side. I had her tested for like, is she blind? Is she deaf? Does she have CP? Like, I was trying to like, what am I looking at? What am I seeing? So I offer that to everybody is, even when you know all the stuff and you have all the connections, when it's your child facing this kind of challenge, you need a community. You need people to come in and wrap their arms around you and walk beside you, because some of my family and friends had never, ever gone through anything, even remotely, what my daughter Devin had gone through. They weren't in the ambulance with seizures. They didn't see their child on a ventilator. They didn't have a special diet they medically had to follow, and finding your people is the most powerful thing we can do as parents. Finding the ones that they're not going to judge you, that there's a hole in the wall, or that your dishes are dirty in the sink, or the laundry is piled up because they live the same life as you do, or at least something similar. So I give you guys so much props for taking time out of your schedules to organize something like this. And if we back it up for the audience, it sounds like the sheriff had a leading role in this. So if another community wants to host an event like this, do you guys have some ideas for them to get them started? Like, what was the groundwork or the framework that you started from? And I know it's not how we usually talk about events, but our podcast is about teaching people to take this idea and do it in their own hometown.
And
I think Kathy, I think Kathy, you're the expert with this because you have the history.
Well, we started many years ago when we wanted to go to church. And Nicholas, just because you cross the threshold of a church doesn't mean that the disability goes away. So I knew that I needed to do something in my local church to create a place where kids can come to church. And so from there, as my son grew and the needs grew, I was one of the founding members of Better Together, which is a parent support. We were a support and advocacy group. And we began to see that these older kids really had nothing in the community. So we started doing community events. And there was some terrible interactions between law enforcement and some people in the community with autism. And unfortunately, my son was one of them. During a fire drill at school, he locked down and refused to leave the building. Sensory-wise, he didn't know what was going on. The lights were flashing. There was loud sounds. Everybody was running by him. And he just locked himself down in a corner. And he had to be physically removed from the building by a member of law enforcement. And he came home pretty bruised. And years later, you come out of things, sometimes you're just numb. But years later, I realized we need some first responder trainings, because more and more they're coming into interaction with our population. And how do you communicate with someone who doesn't communicate unless you're taught? How do you know what to look for when a person with autism has elopement issues? So I went to the sheriff and he said yes. And he said yes quickly. And he just started to partner with us, and Kelberman jumped on, and it was wonderful. But it all starts from a mother basically with a big mouth who knows that the community we need the help from the community. We can't do this by ourselves. Our kids need recreation. They need fun. They need services. They need everything. They need everything that everybody else needs. And sometimes it just has to be tailor-made. But to answer your question, I'm sorry I rabbit trailed so much, Heather.
That's okay. I do the same thing. No.
We've actually now are working with sheriff's departments in Texarkana, Texas, and Arkansas, because they saw what the Oneida County Sheriff has done with elopement, how to find a child and do first responder trainings, look near water. There was just a case in North Carolina where a little girl drowned in a pond in North Carolina. And my first response to whoever posted it was tell them to look by water. And unfortunately they did, but it was too late and she was gone. And we can stop those things. We can get in front of those things. I mean, every story's not going to end the way we want it to. We know that. We've had to take some hard no's ourselves. But the more equipping and the more awareness and the more, we make the community know that, hey, we count too. They do.
Right. And I'm just thinking of something that I share with you, Kathy, and you can speak about it if you're comfortable, but I talk about it all the time. Being a professional and having my daughter, she was non-speaking and so apraxic. And until other families told me that there are ways to teach her to communicate beyond the device and beyond the picture symbols, I didn't know. I didn't know about it. And so then a mama in California posted about a book called The Underestimated. I read it. I read it in 2 days because I was just like so like into every single page. I could feel the dad. And at the end of the novel, the young man he's talking about is helping him write the book. And I could picture me and Devin writing a book. I get emotional talking about it because until that point, I didn't know what her future would be, but it was a mama that I had never met that posted something online, and that was enough to spark me for me to look into something. So when I think about an event like this, where you're bringing so many great ideas and so many resources to the table, you can just be bouncing from idea to the next. I hope they write stuff down. Take pictures, guys. When you're at an event like this, you're not going to remember everything. Take a picture of the table. Take a picture of the card. We're going to lose the card, guys, right? Like there's no way the card's going to make it home or I'm going to be able to find it when I need it. So my camera roll is full of things that I can't forget. And I have a feeling that that's what this event will be. Kim, what kind of things did you say would be important? You've walked through this journey with your brother and now your child. So like what for you was important to have that there and have it be part of it?
So just like Heather, like you were saying, like being a professional in this field and then having your own child like diagnosed, like that's like, and like Kathy was saying, like you start that grieving process, like, and and like I said before, I don't want another mom to sit there or another dad or a guardian or a grandparent to be like, oh my God, like I'm so alone in this whole process, because you're not. There's like just finding your people and having that community support, like, just the partnership that I have with Kathy now. Like, I feel like, she's one like, oh, like, what do I look for when he's a teenager? Oh, Kathy would know, like, like, cause she's been through that journey, to know someone and be relatable. So like, that's where I'm trying to, like, with this committee, is trying to be relatable to parents. Like, yeah, I'm a professional in this field, but I don't know everything. Like when it comes to my son, I don't know everything. Like I literally thought I was going crazy because I kept on going, well, he's toe walking, he's doing this, but I've worked in the autism community for so long that I was like, am I just like seeing these things because I see them all the time? And then like when the diagnosis did come, like it was a shock, but it wasn't a shock to me, because I'm like, okay, like, and then it's questioning myself. Am I doing everything I'm supposed to be doing? And just hearing like, and these two ladies on this call have been reassuring me through every step. You're doing everything you can. You're doing the right things. You're ahead of the game with this. Like, and I just sit in our committee meetings and I'm like, it was for me, that committee is a good vent session for me too, because I will get so heated about stuff. I'm like, well, I don't think this should be this way. And like, and that drives my passion to be like, things have to change. Like it doesn't have to be this hard to get services. It doesn't have to be this hard to, fill out a form or something. Like, so like, I love this committee, and this event is going to help those parents like, oh my God, like, I don't know how to fill out this form. Like, where do I go from now? Like, okay, I did the screener check, at that 18-month appointment. What does that mean? Like, I was just talking to a coworker today, and their child, they're going through that, and the mom panicked. Like, oh my God, like, and like calling the child's name. Like, so it's those things like we want to reassure parents, like, don't panic. It's part of the process. In that they're definitely not alone. And hopefully this event will give them a lot of resources. And again, yes, great advice. Take pictures. I do a lot too. Or they had like slideshows and like, oh, take a picture of that, because I'm probably gonna forget, and then I'll have to come back to it later. But yeah, so I mean, I've been through the whole lifespan thing, even with my brother, like what Kathy was saying, that planning of the end of life. I was my brother's legal guardian when I turned 21. So I was his legal guardian because God forbid something happens to my parents. And then having the funeral planned and all those things, like, it's something that a sibling doesn't want to do, let alone that young, have to plan all those things. And I get all choked up about my brother, but those are the things, like, that a parent, like, even if they're not ready to listen to it, at least it was said, like, or they can take a picture and like, okay, I can't visit this now, but I know where those resources are when I'm ready to make those decisions. But yeah, that is something part of that, parents don't want to talk about. And if you have those siblings out there, siblings that have disabilities, like, that's something like, I think that's going to be my next project, is that population doesn't get recognized a lot. That you have a sibling with a disability. What does that mean? What does like the rest of your life look like? What does like, so there's just like, yes, we would be at the table just boom, 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 boom. And our note taker would be like, oh my God, wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Kathy and we would be like spitting things like, oh, well, let's talk about this. Oh no, let's talk about this. Cause it's just, there's so much expertise at the table that comes in so much lived experiences that come at every different stage of life, that it's just amazing what we are able to accomplish in such a short time, and what we can do in the future. So
they talk about like the sandwich generation where you're taking care of your parents and your children. But I also have a sister with autism, and 50 years ago, that's a long time ago, and we didn't really know what Erin had for a very long time. She was just Erin. And at work today, my daughter was taking a class at the center I work at and having a hard time, and I could hear her. And I was like, oh no, I'm in a meeting. I don't know what to do. I hear her. And then my sister pops her head in because she tracks me on her phone. It was like, oh, you're here. And I'm thinking, I am trying to be a professional, right? No, like, but that's that feeling of like, it's coming from all different angles and all different ways. But that's the beauty of talking, because now you have an idea of how you can help a different group that not resonates with everybody, but there is a group of people that because as soon as you said it, I thought, oh yeah, I feel that, like, that is powerful. And I think those are what make events meaningful to people, when they can say, that's me right there. That's my neighbor next door. Oh, I got to tell, my friend from high school, because that's what her son is going through. Because at least for me, I remember things based on people that I've known, loved, cared about, worked with. So, Bethany, I'm just wondering, as you're sitting here and you're listening, what does Kelberman do? Like, do you guys like track this kind of thing? You see like which tables are hitting, like who's the most popular? Because you guys seem so innovative in what your menu of options and things that you offer families. It's just kind of a curiosity question about how you determine which things are the hot topics, which things you're going to explore and include in your menu of options.
Absolutely. Well, I think participating in community initiatives such as this definitely keeps us at the table. We have a service that's called Family Navigation, and I think we've talked about this in the past. And Family Navigation is a service where families can call in. They don't have to even know what they're looking for. They can call and speak with someone, and a lot of times they don't. A lot of times they just know they need to talk to someone, but they're not necessarily even sure what questions they're supposed to ask. And that's the beauty of Family Navigation, is they get to talk to someone. And right now that's me. And we talk through, okay, what are you experiencing? What's going on? And then we try to tease out ways that we can be of support to them. So with that, I do find there are trends, right? At the beginning of the year, I will start to get calls about school, IEPs, educational advocacy, all of those different topics. And it goes, there are these trends that I just know what to expect. But then I also keep track of, and we do as an agency, what are we getting calls about a lot? And how can we fulfill that need or that gap in services? What are some of the things that we can do? And of course, our services in general, when we are presenting them in the community and we are providing those services, we want to ensure that we're doing it in such a way that it's in such high quality that we are filling those gaps, because they are there. And we do our best to do that in that way. And like I said, Family Navigation is really the gateway into Kelberman services. But not only that, into resources in general. We never let people leave us empty-handed, even if we can't necessarily provide the service through our agency. We do try to make those connections for families. That's so important. And exactly what this group means, right? We all have our experiences, whether it be personal or professional, that we are bringing to the table. And as I said earlier, I learn so much from what everyone has to say and their different experiences. And my wheels are always turning. Steve, we talk about this often, about we're always thinking of new, innovative ways to meet a need. And Steve, I know you can talk about this a lot too, thinking outside the box, because there are other ways to get a need met. And Kim, talking about the siblings side of things, you're 100% right. There's a need there. Now, how do we meet that need? And how do we bring in siblings so they don't feel alone? Because that can be a whole other, scenario for families, and oftentimes overlooked, right?
Mhm.
So, yeah.
When
I
is
think
this?
that.
When? Go ahead, Heather.
Oh no, you go. Sorry.
A lot of people are going to be interested in this event. It's interesting. I was talking about this to some people, not just locally, but out there in a disability community, an autism community, all the way throughout the state. And they don't have anything like this. This is groundbreaking things for Utica. You're way ahead of the curve. There's a lot of families interested in exactly what you guys are offering here. And I would like you to let everybody know when that is, where, and anything else on that part of the day that you're interested in explaining.
Great. Well, I can take that. So this event will take place on Saturday, September 27th from 9 a.m. until 3 p.m. And as I had alluded to earlier, it is a two-part series. The first portion of the day will be geared more towards early childhood, school-age children, things of that nature. And then the second part will be more geared towards transition to adulthood, future planning, things of that nature. It is at the Parish on Broadway, right in Utica, and parking, I believe, Kathy, they can park right at the City Hall, correct?
Right in City Hall parking lot and walk right across the street to the venue. It's actually 730 Broadway.
Perfect. And we do have a link, and I can share that with you, Steve and Heather, to register for the event. We do plan on having like refreshments and things of that nature. So we just want to have a little bit of an idea of the number of attendees that we will have. And of course, we have different people or organizations that will be coming in and tabling as well. So they also, would like to know what to bring as far as resources, because they do plan to bring things to pass out to families as well. So we're super excited for this. And thank you so much again for giving us the opportunity to be on your podcast and to share a little bit about what we have in the works. And again, I'm super excited just to be a part of all that is to come with this committee. And again, we have to recognize the United County Sheriff, Sheriff Mashel, for bringing this together and really taking it to this level, because without him making a commitment to this community of people, this wouldn't be as far as it is today.
Absolutely. And so many times when we get together, we complain. We raise the alarms, we shout in our microphones, we are angry, things aren't working. This is such a different feel and tone. This is problem solving. This is community, people coming together to support each other, because the solutions are there. If you're knocking on a door and they won't answer, there's another door. It might not be the one you're expecting. I mean, when you talked about the Utica Development Center, I just think of the bus, Steve. I mean, knocking on the veterans door. Now people with disabilities are being connected to transportation that they really needed. So I hope that's what our audience walks away with today, that there's always another door to knock on. And maybe you need a friend to walk alongside of you, somebody in your community that's gone through it with you. Be brave. Get out of your house and go. We're so used to virtual things now, turning our cameras off, only half listening to each other. Be there and be present, like soak it in, because even if you're overwhelmed and you want to be in your bed with the covers over your head, because trust me, I'm kind of in that mode right now at my house. I have someone who transitioned. That is a cliff. But you can't stay in bed with the covers over your head. Our kids still need to eat and grow and dream, and we have to help them. So be brave. Take the step. And if it's not for this event, if you don't live in the center of the state, if you're not in New York, create one in your hometown, or talk to somebody at church or the grocery store. Find your people, and don't be scared to lean on them when you need them, because they're going to need you too. And I think that's the beauty of finding people who are walking a similar journey to you, because me talking to my best friend that I grew up with, she's wonderful, but she doesn't live this life. She's going to tell me about her kids in college and the vacation they just went on. And I'm going to have that jealousy. Like, I wish I had some of those things. And I can't tell her what just happened at work today, because it's not that she wouldn't care. She absolutely would be, but she doesn't live this, and she wouldn't know how to help me fix it. So I appreciate it. Kathy, I feel like I want you to close this out. We're coming to the end of the show, and I know that you have so much to say, and I just want to give you that chance to close things up for us.
Heather, I just want to grab you and hug you. I do, because everything that you said today about parents needing parents, as old as I am, and as old as we are, Steve, I'm sorry to date you with me.
I absolutely am.
But we never stop learning. We never stop. We get these fixed mindsets of where our kids are or where they're going to be. And then somebody comes along and there's a new world introduced, or can be introduced. And then I get excited when I see Kimberly. Kimberly, you don't know what you do for my heart. You bring me so much joy. I don't want you to walk this walk, and I pray that everything is different for you. But just to see your trailblazer spirit and to take this and run, because let's face it, Steve and I hope we're here, Steve, for another 50 years, but we might not be, And Heather, all of us are truly better together. And the way to network and to learn about the resources and to connect with other parents that are walking through it. Heather, you said it perfectly. Our best friends, and we have to be careful not to get stuck in that comparison mode of, at this age, for me, my friends' kids are having kids or have already had kids and they're celebrating grandchildren. Well, my son is my only son. So without a miracle, I'll never be a grandparent. I'll never get to do, those kind of things, but it's okay, because if we stay in our own lane and we just try to make the best, and we know that we're doing what we're supposed to do and making inroads and changing lives every day, then there's purpose in that. And so I really hope that this event has a great turnout, not because we're looking for numbers, but we're looking to change as many lives and to encourage as many hearts as we can for this journey, so that people don't feel alone and they don't feel ashamed and they don't feel afraid. That they say, hey, I'm not alone. There's a whole village here that will come and help me. So thank you again, Steve, Heather, for having us. This is an incredible platform. Keep being a force and doing what y'all do to change lives. And Steve, we know you're making inroads that you get in places nobody gets in. So we're grateful.
That's what our audience loves, this backstage pass and the different things that not only our guests do, but that we're involved in. It's fun, right? It's like it gives you the power back. You say, hey, if he could do it, I could do that. Well, that wasn't that hard. That was, and it's not that we don't have to take a lot of steps, but sometimes when someone points in the right direction, at least we know which way to go. Half the time I'm like, I think I took a wrong turn somewhere. That's my feeling at the moment, but we'll find our way because we have each other. So thank you so much. I will not be able to attend. It breaks my heart. I really, really wanted to. We have a family wedding 3 hours away from you. So we can't even pop in and pop out. But Steve will be there, and he will actually be there with our camera and our crew, and he will be roaming around and getting footage. And I just thought maybe I give, let's close out with that, Steve. What's the plan? I won't be there, but you can have fun anyways.
Yeah, look, we look forward to being there. We did the Walk for Autism with Kelberman previous.
Mm-hmm.
It was our first roving podcast, so we were appreciative of that. And we have this opportunity also to interview all of you guys who are truly trailblazers. And look, I talk to a lot of people, and you guys are trailblazers. This particular program here that you guys are putting together is trailblazing. And I think, Kim, you mentioned it best, that the families will appreciate this kind of stuff. Sometimes if we don't offer this stuff, we just keep trudging along, and in our lives, and it's not enough. And if we can inspire any of these parents to come out and go to this event on September 27th, kudos to all of you for putting it together. Kudos to Sheriff Mayfield for the inspiration to even do it. That doesn't happen very often. And so I know I'm appreciative, and I know all of you are appreciative. So thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck, guys. And until next time.
Continue the conversation by joining our Facebook group. If you're a fan of the show, please join our supporters club. Subscribe on YouTube, rate and review on your favorite listening app, but most of all, share it with your friends. Just one more click or comment can make a huge difference and help us to continue finding common ground.